I want to thank everyone for joining me today. This is, in fact, my first webinar using the Teams platform. So excited about this, and I'm very grateful to be part of such an amazing community of manufacturers rep agents and having you on board this 6-week journey. Today is week 1 of a 6-week journey where I'll be hosting and joined by guests on a weekly basis for 45 minutes to an hour every Thursday at noon Eastern time, and I'll just be sharing some really insightful messages and content and insights that are very applicable in your world. So today is all about the precision pipeline. And what I mean by that is how many opportunities do you need in your pipeline? How many opportunities do your sales members need in their pipeline at any given time in order to make sure that you're going to crush your goals, those financial revenue goals, those goals you have with your manufacturers at any given time? So my name is Chris Atwell, and I am your premier partner for manufacturers rep agents seeking transformative growth through enhanced mindset and effective leadership. I'm a peak performance sales and mindset coach, and I've worked with dozens of agencies over the last 3 years, helping them get really clear on their vision, getting clear on the goals and the strategic work necessary to achieve those goals and elevate themselves within the industry, not only as individual leaders, but also by inspiring and developing their teams into high performers. I understand what it takes as a manufacturer's rep and the challenges that you're faced. And I know what it means to win, what it takes to win, to grow, to manage your time effectively, to delegate, to communicate, and develop a team into accountable, detail-oriented high performers. I've personally spent time on the road. I've conducted trainings for end users. I've educated engineers. I've secured specs. I've converted distributors. And I've worked one-on-one with people like yourselves as a passion of mine for the last 3 years. And that's what Mindset Conquest is all about. It's about helping you become better at what you do. So here's the agenda. I'll be talking about the Precision Pipeline Index today. And that involves some really key elements: conversion rates, opportunity size, and a formula that you can apply. I'll give you some examples on how to use this in your day-to-day. And I'm going to share, why, the benefits of a well-managed pipeline in your business. As I'm navigating through this industry and getting to know more and more of you, I see many of you implementing CRMs. I see many of you tracking projects in various ways, whether that's a spreadsheet or being downloaded from Dodge reports and stuff like that. But what do you do with that data is really important, and that's what we're going to talk about today. How can you add value with these systems that you're developing, these processes that you're implementing, and make it far more effective? So what is the Precision Pipeline Index? Well, this is a concept. It's a powerful tool designed to help you to understand and manage the number of sales opportunities needed in your pipeline to meet your revenue goals. It's essentially what it is. Okay, so let's define that. The PPI, as I refer to it, is a strategic framework that allows you to determine the exact number of opportunities you need in your pipeline at any given time to achieve your sales targets. It's all about precision and strategy. And what this does is it ensures that every opportunity in your CRM or in your spreadsheet, whatever you're tracking it in, is contributing effectively to your revenue goals. Now, why is this important in your sales strategy? Well, look, we know this is a very competitive market. And having a well-defined and structured approach to managing your sales pipeline can be a game changer. A game changer. I've met countless agencies that have implemented CRMs and are using them to track activities. And that's fantastic. I mean, it's a great value add for your manufacturing partners. They want to know where and when your reps have been spending time with end users and wholesalers and engineers. That's awesome. But if you really want to leverage and change the game for yourself, you want to have some sort of sales strategy that includes maximizing your opportunity pipeline, because this helps you move away from guesswork and towards a more calculated and data-driven approach to sales. You see, the PPI has several benefits. It gives you predictable revenue growth. It provides clear visibility into your future sales and helps in accurate revenue forecasting. It'll help you with efficient resource allocation, so you can focus your efforts on high potential opportunities, ensuring that your resources are utilized effectively. And it can add improved sales performance. With a structured pipeline, you can identify and address bottlenecks in your sales process, leading to higher conversion rates and overall performance. I invite everyone here to use the Q&A at any given time. I do have that available. And of course, it appears the chat is available as well. So if you do have any questions, I'm here for you. So there are three key components to developing a really effective formula around the Precision Pipeline Index. And the first one is conversion rates. And conversion rates, what this means is this is the percentage of opportunities that you successfully close. So knowing your conversion rate is crucial because it directly impacts how many opportunities you need in your pipeline. If you don't know your exact conversion rate, a good starting point is 33%. And I'd venture to say that if you reached out to your manufacturing partners and you asked them, hey, what are the amount of conversion rates that we have as partners here from quote to PO? Very common number is 33%. And that's the common average across many industries. So if you don't know yours, start there. The next component is the average opportunity size. And this refers to the average value of the opportunities in your pipeline. And it's important because if you want to calculate this accurately, you have to review the value of opportunities you've closed in recent times. And we'll go over that in a little bit more detail. And what this does is it gives you a realistic figure to work with when applying the formula that I'm going to show you. And finally, you got to have a clearly defined revenue target. These are the financial goals, the revenue targets that you set per manufacturer for your sales team. Okay. Your revenue target is the total amount that you aim to achieve within a specific time period, such as your yearly revenue target for this line. Okay. And with those three components, you can make sure that you understand how many opportunities you need. Let's elaborate a little more on conversion rates, right? Again, conversion rate is simply the percentage of opportunities that you've successfully closed. For example, if you had 100 opportunities and you closed 33 of them, you have a conversion rate of 33%. Pretty straightforward. Now, while the typical conversion rate can vary depending on the industry and different circumstances, a general rule of thumb, again, is to use 33% if you don't have exact data. This means that out of every 3 opportunities, you can expect to close 1. And there's different conversion scenarios. You've got high conversion scenarios. So in some cases, you might have a much higher conversion rate. So for example, if you're dealing with specified products that are hard spec'd into projects, your conversion rate can be as high as 95%. And this happens because the product is already specified and there's less competition or alternate options, right? You've got standard conversion scenarios, right? So on the other hand, in a typical commercial setting without specs, your conversion rate might be around 33%. And this is more common and serves as a good starting point. You may also have low conversion rates, right? All depends. And that begs the question, why are we selling products that have low conversion rates? So that could be a data point that could help lead to maybe cleaning up your product offering or developing strategies to improve that. All right. But at the end of the day, understanding your conversion rate is crucial because it directly impacts the number of opportunities that you need in your pipeline. And if you have a high conversion rate, you need fewer opportunities to meet your revenue targets. Conversely, with a lower conversion rate, you're going to need more opportunities to achieve the same goal. So as we move forward, keep in mind that knowing and accurately calculating your conversion rate is going to help you apply the Precision Pipeline Index more effectively. And this understanding enables you to build a more precise and realistic strategy for your sales team, for your sales pipeline, ensuring that you have enough opportunities to hit your revenue targets. So I'm going to run a quick little poll here. And I'm going to ask everyone to answer honestly. All right. What is your current conversion rate for closing sales opportunities currently? If you look in the chat, the poll popped up, and I'm wondering, honest responses, and this is an anonymous response, by the way, but do you know what your current conversion rate is? Give it a few seconds, allow people to respond. Yeah. And if you don't know your conversion rate, that's okay. That's actually an opportunity for you to get more crystal clear on what that means, what it is in your business. You can see here by the responses that we're looking between 20 and 50% most likely. So that 33% mark that I was talking about. And then we've got a couple of we've got one response which is in the 60 to 80% mark, which is really interesting. So dialing in on your conversion rate is going to give you so much insight. So I recommend everyone do that on a regular basis. All right. So how do you calculate your conversion rate? So if you're looking to understand your conversion rate in your business, right, you can look at it different ways. You can chalk it down by a certain time frame. So you can look at by quarter, you can look at it by month, but generally as a starting point, look at it by year. So you could use 2023's numbers, for example, last year, and you take the total number of opportunities. And what I mean by opportunities, hopefully you've got a list of all the projects or all of the quotes for end users or the wholesalers made for you. Those opportunities, you take that total number of opportunities and then you apply how many of those was I successful with? How many wins, actual closed deals, POs, did I generate, right? So it's the number of opportunities you successfully closed divided by those total number of opportunities multiplied by 100. So if you had 150 project quotes last year, you closed 45 of them successfully, you have a 30% close ratio. Very simple math. Okay. The idea is that where are you getting the data from? So oftentimes a great exercise for manufacturers reps to do is to ask your manufacturing partners, hey, can you share with me, all of the quotes that you got last year in my territory, and all of the POs that were generated based on those quotes? You can get a report in Excel format. Ask them for that. Ask them if you're not getting it already. Many of you likely have quoting systems, right? You might have auto quotes or Oasis or whatever it might be, an internal tracking system. You can leverage that. And then obviously in your CRM, if you're tracking opportunities, whether that's an opportunity you've been tracking for a project or with a wholesaler or maybe converting an end user, you can look at that data as well and use the CRM data as the insights. Wonderful. And this just gives you a little bit of, a visual of, you might have different conversion scenarios. So you got to take that into consideration. If you've got an engineered product that's, a hard spec, you're likely going to have a higher conversion rate. If you're on a open specification, and your chances are probably 50% closes, and then your standard products likely around 30. So those are things you need to keep in consideration when you're building your pipeline based on type of product by line, by manufacturer. So when we're calculating opportunity size, all right, what we're looking at is the average value of the opportunity, right? And what this means is, of all of the projects, all of the opportunities that you have in your system, what's the mean? What's the average opportunity value? Pretty straightforward, right? It's something that in our pipelines oftentimes is missed. Oftentimes, our sales reps will type in an opportunity in the CRM and they'll leave the value cell blank. They'll leave that cell blank. But that is, in my opinion, the most important value that should be included in that information. So without that, you're kind of left in the dark. But if you can get your team to be accountable and disciplined enough to always include what they believe ballpark figure that opportunity value could be, based on quantity, based on whatever it might be, the size of the project, the square footage, the wholesale space that they're going to take, or converting that contractor, add that value in there so that you can determine what your average is. Okay. And once you have that average, that's going to help you accurately calculate and apply the Precision Pipeline Index more effectively. You need to understand this to support it. So I'm going to run a second poll here. And this poll is around average opportunity value, right? How often do you review and update your average opportunity size and value, or value in your CRM? Are you looking at that regularly? Yeah, you see, very, very common. Very common. We're not paying attention to that particular metric, this very powerful metric of what was the average quote that went out to our customers that we won, right? So hopefully this will help offer you some insights that you can apply in your day-to-day moving forward. I love that there is a regular ongoing review there. So how do you calculate your average opportunity size? Quite simple. Again, you know what? It's your total revenue from closed opportunities. So say, you closed $500,000 in business last year, okay, in opportunities for the specific line. You divide that number by the amount of closed opportunities. So 10 of them. You get your average opportunity size is 50,000. If you've got a CRM and you're tracking all your opportunity values in whether it be Salesforce, Red Fabric, HubSpot, whatever it is, you can pull up the opportunity pipeline, extract it into Excel, and do a quick average. Find out right away, by line, by territory, whatever it might be. There's really quick and easy ways to find this information out. So once we've understood our conversion rate and we understand what our average opportunity size is, that's where the magic can really happen. And that's where we can apply the Precision Pipeline Index. And again, this formula will help you calculate the exact number of opportunities required in your pipeline to support your revenue target. So you take your revenue target, say you take your revenue target, you divide that by your conversion rate percentage, divided by your average opportunity value. And this is going to give you a number. This is going to tell you exactly how many opportunities you need to have in your pipeline at any given time to support that revenue target. So I'll give you an example right here. All right, so say you've got a revenue target of $1 million. Your conversion rate is 30%, and your average opportunity value is 50,000. You take that million, you divide it by 30%, and you divide that by 50K. You need to have 67 opportunities in your pipeline to meet that $1 million target. Now, of course, there's going to be different variables. You're going to have scenarios where you've got repeat business built into your budget, into your revenue target, right? So that $1 million, maybe 50% of it is repeat business. You know, you don't have to go and secure net new incremental. It's not project based. It's just stuff that flows through your network. But that other 500,000, that other half, takes a lot more effort. You've got to get those projects locked in. You've got to get those conversions locked in. Well, you apply it. You say it's 500,000 times 30%, or divided by 30%, divided by 50,000. And that's going to tell you need 33 opportunities in the pipeline to capture that gap, that remaining amount. And you also need to consider your sales cycle, right? One of the things we talked about earlier in the conversation was, you know, what time frame we're looking at. Well, there's also a time frame around the life cycle of a sale. And that's another data point that I strongly recommend you take a look at. So if it's taking 18 months from, you know, quoted spec to PO to actual sale, you need to factor that in. So if your revenue target is for that 1 year, you need to keep that in mind, right? You need to keep that in mind. If it's 18 months, well, you're going to have 50% more opportunities in the pipeline within that certain time frame, et cetera. If your sales cycle is faster, that could also impact, right? But in general, you apply this pipeline index, and you know what your close date could be with those opportunities, because in your CRM, in your sales pipeline, you should be proactively thinking about having your sales reps identify when do you think this PO is actually going to come in reality. Then you can filter it down and know that you've got 67 opportunities within the right time frame. Excellent. So that's the formula. And there are tons of benefits to this, right? Simple math, and I get it. Relationships are important. Having routines and systems in place, and operational efficiency is super important, but you want to have clarity on how many opportunities you need in your sales pipeline, because there are significant benefits of having a well-managed sales pipeline. And understanding these advantages can help you appreciate why it's crucial to maintain a structured and organized pipeline. First thing is that it's gonna allow you to have a more predictable revenue growth, right? A well-managed pipeline provides clear visibility into your future sales. How many times has a manufacturer asked you, what projects do you have coming down the pipeline? Maybe one of the principals is asking, how much are we going to close this quarter? Well, by tracking your opportunities and understanding where each one stands, you can make accurate revenue forecasts. And this predictability allows for better financial planning, and helps you stay organized and stay on track to meet your revenue goals. It will allow you to have a more efficient resource allocation, more efficient use of your resources. Because with a well-maintained pipeline and applying this formula, you can see which opportunities are most likely to close and where you should be focusing your efforts. I had a call yesterday with one of my clients, and he's got this massive pipeline of opportunities. He's got a territory across Eastern US. And I asked him, where are you going to be spending your time over the next 2 weeks? And he's telling me he's got to drive here and there and here and there and here and there. Typical, right? We want to be everywhere. We want to service all of our customers. We want to build those relationships. We want to be present. But the time that it's going to take to go from point A to point B over and over again over that 2-week period is going to be quite demanding on him. And quite frankly, not very efficient. So when we took a look at his opportunity pipeline and we filtered it down by opportunity size, by level of priority, by geography, and by percentage of confidence of actually closing these opportunities, we were able to position a plan for him of where he should be focusing his efforts as a priority, as a big rock, so that he could prioritize those high potential leads, ensuring that the time and resources are being used effectively, that he's not just spinning his wheels and doing a milk run. Because we all get stuck in the milk run. It's easy. It's comfortable. What we're used to. And it helps avoid the waste of resources on low value opportunities, right? It creates visibility on, wait, I should be spending time here, but I'm getting distracted by these low value opportunities, which maximizes the efficiency of his sales process, of your sales process. And when you do that, you get improved sales performance, because a structured pipeline allows you to identify bottlenecks and areas for improvement, bad data in your sales process. And by analyzing pipeline data, you can pinpoint stages where deals are getting stuck, take corrective action. You can pinpoint where you're winning more and leverage that. And what happens is this continuous improvement leads to higher conversion rates and overall better sales performance. And your team becomes more effective and your process becomes more streamlined. And these benefits, what they do is they highlight why maintaining a well-managed sales pipeline is essential for any sort of sales organization, whether you're a manufacturer's rep or a manufacturer or, selling software, whatever it is. If it not only helps in achieving your current revenue targets, but it also sets the foundation for sustainable growth and long-term success, because you're getting clarity on how am I going to grow my business next year. I've sat with many of my clients and said, where do you want to grow and by what percentage Do you want to grow next year when they're setting their annual goals? And numbers will come out. It'd be nice to have 20%, 30%. Okay, great. Can you demonstrate how you're going to do that? And having a formula in place, understanding how many opportunities you need in your pipeline to support that sort of growth, and being able to communicate that with your manufacturing partners holds amazing weight. Amazing weight. Let's run another poll here. I'd like to run another poll around the benefits of well-managed pipeline. Okay. What do you think is the biggest benefit of having a well-managed sales pipeline? All of the above. All of the above, right? Predictable revenue growth. Absolutely. For me, one of the most important things at a high level, having worked for publicly traded companies, construction related businesses, I was getting asked as the commercial national sales manager all the time, hey, can you give me a forecast? Can you tell me where we're going to be next quarter, the quarter after? Because all those numbers get cascaded up to the shareholders. And in this business, as an entrepreneur, as a manufacturer's rep agency owner, wouldn't that be amazing to know exactly where you're going to be, or as close as possible, having a pulse on it? Fantastic. All the above, for sure. Here are some stats around having a well-managed pipeline. And Harvard Business Review conducted a survey, a study around pipelines, and what they saw was that the companies who had a really well-established and structured opportunity pipeline where they applied a formula had 33% more revenue growth than their competitors. And the Vantage Point Performance Survey showed that a structured pipeline management across most industries by salesperson, a salesperson who applied this saw 11% higher sales growth than their targets. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing that the shift in mindset, that if you can apply the discipline and the formula and get the buy-in from your team by showing them the value of doing something like this, you're going to have a huge impact. You're going to have better forecasting. They're going to feel a lot more confident about what they're doing. You're going to increase your conversion rates because you're going to be focused on the opportunities that are making more sense, and you're going to have more sustainable business growth. Now, the downside is not of the formula itself, but of neglecting pipeline management, is that you're not going to have information, right? And that information is going to lead to a lack of being fully aware of where you should be spending your time. Your follow-ups are going to suffer. Your sales are going to suffer. Maybe not suffer, I shouldn't say it, but they won't be as efficient, right? So it leads to missed follow-ups. I think we're all guilty of that, right? If we don't have an opportunity written down somewhere and it's just living in our head, we miss those follow-up deadlines. It could go to the wayside, right? I had talked about how this structured approach can really allow for allocation of resources. And if you're going out on the road every single week and you're just doing a milk run and it's not super focused, it's more just by gut feel, there's inefficiencies along that. So you're wasting your resources on low value leads. You might be chasing the leads because you really like that guy, or you're excited about that product line, but does it really make the most sense? Is it the most high value, high priority, biggest impact opportunity? And you won't be able to forecast as effectively, right? We're going to take a lot more guesswork out of forecasting if we have an effective pipeline in place. Absolutely. So at the end of the day, the Precision Pipeline Index, again, is a powerful tool, a simple formula, all right, that's going to help you determine the exact amount of opportunities you need in your pipeline to achieve your sales targets. And you do that by understanding your conversion rates. You do that by understanding your average opportunity size. And looking at that and understanding your revenue targets, you can apply the formula. And we explored the importance of this, right? How to calculate it. But what I really want to challenge you with today, everyone on the line, I want to challenge you to take what you've learned today and apply this index, the Precision Pipeline Index, to your own sales strategies. Give it a shot, all right? Start by assessing your current conversion rates and your average opportunity sizes. Make sure that you have a line of sight on what your revenue target is for a specific line, and then use the formula to set a realistic and achievable target for your sales pipeline. Identify how many opportunities you need to reach your goal. And remember that the goal here is to create a precise and effective strategy that's going to help you. It's going to help you achieve your revenue targets much faster. It's going to help keep you focused. And it's going to keep, it's going to sharpen your sword in terms of utilizing data to your advantage. So I'm going to open up the Q&A and ask if anyone here has any questions. And this is the time. We've got about 5-10 minutes left. So happy to answer any questions you might have either in the chat or in the Q&A while we're together. And in the meantime, while we're looking at that, a reminder that I've got another session coming up next week. Okay, same time. And I'll be joined by Laura Lilly. And Laura Lilly Goodrich is she's an HR leader turned executive coach and workshop facilitator. She's got over a decade of experience in that field, and she knows how to build culture within businesses and strategies to drive business results and high retention rates. So we're going to discuss why performance management is really important to the success of any company. Right? She's led some really high-speed growth at some tech startups. She's built growth-minded cultures for multiple businesses across the UK and North America. And she's helped companies through mergers and acquisitions. And in this industry, we know that a lot of that is happening right now. So I'm looking forward to sitting down with her. And next week is going to be more of a kind of a podcast discussion format. We're going to sit down. I'm going to have a bunch of questions for her, and we're going to go from there. So I invite everyone on the line today, if you do have questions around performance management, feel free to email me. Email me those questions, and we can table them if it makes sense next week. So, are there any questions around the Precision Pipeline Index? Use the chat or the Q&A. The recording of this webinar will be made available, and all attendees I will send a copy of this to. So pretty straightforward stuff. For that, I thank you. Thank you very much for attending today's webinar. I hope you found it insightful. You found it effective. And I look forward to seeing you all next week as well, right? Please reach out by email. And if you're interested in learning more about how I can help you and your agency, please, I'm open to a conversation anytime, and look forward to seeing you soon. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.